We are live. Okay. So, since last class, I did my research, and I came to the realization that I made a mistake in last class with your question. When is the hour of Mars, of Maidan, the red hour? So before we get to there, let me just say a introduction. That Misha asked the question: why does the Torah tell us about these hours? What's the cause of your personality? The hour you're born, the minute you're born. What's the difference? So I'm going to bring two aspects over here today, which each one tells us the exact opposite lesson. One is this is your hour, go for it. Another one is it's bad. Switch, take the negative and make it into positive. So first we're going to talk about the red hour, Mazel Maidan, the Mazel of Mars. So there are 7 planets or stuff in the sky which control the earth. It says in the Talmud, and they switch every hour. So what I realized in my research the past few days is that it's different than I thought. It's not that every single day there's a certain cycle of planets that control the earth. It's the opposite. Hashem, when did he make the sun? He made the sun on the 4th day. So there's a reason why in Australia right now it's not Tuesday, it's not Thursday, it's Friday. Why? Because the day starts in Australia, it goes all the way to Alaska, and it starts again. Which means you can be standing in a place somewhere in the middle of the ocean where it's one day and then move a few inches the next day. So you can jump a day, skip a day, and go back a day, right? You keep on moving days. So the reason is why is it like that? Why is Australia? You get the question. Why don't you say that Australia is later than Alaska? Why are we saying that it's before? Maybe it's later. Right? So there's a problem. For example, if somebody was in Australia on Pesach and then he flies to America, he counts 49 days. He finishes 49 days a day before us. So therefore, his Shua starts a day earlier, literally. There's people from Australia that do this. They come here and they do Shuas a day early because 49 days is earlier. So now, but the question is, why are they a day earlier? Maybe they're a day later. Because a ball, there's no beginning. Any circle has no beginning. So why is Australia considered a day earlier? And that's the reason, because when Hashem created the earth, he put this, where did he put the sun? Right on top, not Australia, somewhere in Asia. That's where he started it. Meaning that it started morning in Jerusalem, the 4th day of creation. And then from there, that's where we can count day. In Alaska, it was still nighttime. It didn't get till daytime till it went the full circle. That's how we count the days. So now, the minute it started, the minute God put the sun in the sky, he put around the earth other planets, Mars, Venus. There's in the Hebrew names, Shapsite, Sezek, Maidim, Levana, Chama, Kaichab, all these planets. Each planet controls 4 points, 3 or 4 points in the globe in the same time. And every hour they switch. But it's nothing to do with the sun. That's why I said it was my mistake. It's nothing to do with the day cycle. They start in the sky by the 4th day of creation. God put them there, and they're controlling the world in a circle. But it just says every 20. I'm not saying because of any term. I'm not sure why. Could be it's a Kabbalistic reason, mystical reason. But every 24 hours it's switching. That's why it says in Kabbalah that we shouldn't make Kiddush on the 6th hour on Friday. That's where I got in last class the concept that in the 7th hour, which is 6 o'clock on Friday, you should not make Kiddush because it's considered a bad luck hour. Mazel, Mars. Yeah, even actually happened to the whole hour. Yeah, but because Mars controls, let's say 3 or 4 parts on the Earth, so now. Let me get to what you're saying. So when you count from Wednesday, when Mars became prominent, and then it goes. You switch every hour 7 times. Its turns out after all the turns of each one 7, 7, 7. That on the 7th hour on Friday, it's the control of Mars. So now 7 o'clock in Miami, not exactly Miami because it's literally by the place. It's not by the time zone. It's by the spot you're on Earth, right? That's why the 7th hour is different for every single inch of the Earth because it depends. It moves, right? So So every single spot, the 7th hour on Friday is the bad luck hour, or the hour that you shouldn't make kiddush. No, it's 6 o'clock. It's the 7th hour, but it's 6. It's 6 o'clock. So it's that. So the point is that no one debates that it's the time that Mars is sort of controlling. So Mars moves along, right? So let's say in Jerusalem, it's now 7 o'clock, whatever, when it was 7 o'clock, and then it moves here, and now it's 7 o'clock. If it's Friday, that's the time that this full hour we should not make kiddush.
So it's 1 minute.
So obviously, Ami says 1 minute, but whatever.
Because it's very, you have to be accurate with the 1 hour.
Okay.
Covering all the.
Okay, maybe. But the point is, so it controls the spot. So now, what does it say? Therefore, someone which is born on this hour of Mars, which is red, which I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you this because you're not allowed to speak about idol worship. But in the times of the temple, everyone agreed. Everybody. It was the idol worshippers. Everybody knows Mars is sort of the dangerous planet. They call. I don't want to say what they call it. Maiden, right? No, so you don't want to mess with that. It's like sort of the bad luck hour. So therefore, we don't make kiddush in that hour. Now, Ami was saying it's a discussion because how could you say Mars can control a mitzvah? I need to do a mitzvah, make kiddush. So therefore, the Rebbe says that if somebody's custom in your city is to make kiddush, then you can trust that because a mitzvah can't be controlled by anything. Hashem, right? But in the customs, which is the Chabad custom, to be careful about this, then you don't make kiddush for a full hour. Now, it has nothing to do with the time on the clock because it has to do with the time in the winter because in the summer, Shabbos starts at 8. So 6 o'clock is way back during the day. Again, it has nothing to do with the sun. If it would have to do with the sun, then it would be at 7th hour. Right, but because it's going by the 24-hour cycle, nothing to do with the sun. It's sort of a coincidence almost that it's a 24-hour cycle. It has nothing to do with the sun. So every hour, a planet changes on the control of Earth. So when you're born in the 7th hour, in the hour of Mars, the red hour, it's sort of you have a bloody tendency. So therefore, it says, what should you do? Because usually people which are bloody, unfortunately. So therefore, what? Huh? A shochet or a moil, right? But the point is, anybody that has a negative tendency in general in life should never think, okay, I have to destroy it, I have to fight it. Some people think that if you're religious, means you have to be sort of in a box. Because why? And it have a reason. Because if you're an artist, you're a musician, you're a thinker, it's sort of you're sticking out. So it's sort of yourself. What do you think? How do you feel? It's not like, okay, I'm nothing, right? So therefore, some people, especially when they become religious, let's say from a secular background, they just want to throw everything away. And the Rebbe was not a fan. Anytime somebody had a talent, maybe for like a month, 2 months, maybe a little bit of time, you push it away. But you always have to take it and conquer it. Because especially the Rebbe said, nobody in your talent is connected to Hashem. So you have a whole field of people that will never find Judaism if not for you. Because if you ever met a talented person that's really involved in the talent, if you're not talking their expertise, you don't exist. Like I spoke to a Chabad guy my age, he plays piano 12 hours a day. Literally, he's sitting in front of his keyboard or a piano 12 hours a day. So if you're not talking keyboard stuff, you're talking gibberish stuff, right? So the Rebbe is telling these people, you're a musician. If there's no musicians that are religious, especially in those olden days. So like talking 40 years ago. So you have to go spread the word. Or if you're a scientist, so many scientists unfortunately don't believe in God, right? Or don't think that there's a problem between science and Torah. You have to go and tell them it's not true. Any single profession that is not common, right, that for religious people to be doing, you have to. If it's not real estate, which all religious people are doing, you have to go and find those people. But it's not only that. It's not only you have to get the people. It's a present from Hashem. A present from Hashem has to be used out to the fullest extent. If you're not using it out, you're not using out the present Hashem gave you. So if someone's a bloody person, it's a present from Hashem. Every challenge someone has in his life,
was blood.
He says David HaMelech. But it's not only any challenge. If somebody is aggressive, if someone is lazy, any challenge there is in life, it's your challenge. It's a present Hashem gave you. It's not a random mistake. It's like I was saying in last class. It's not like the role happens to be, which makes people are depressed because they feel like they're a mistake. If you look at even the way the Goyim, the old philosophers, everyone looked at the center was the earth, and everything was a sort of a chain with a finished product. It's like a massive company, massive factory with a little product that finishes. But there's massive machines because everything is focused, which God's plan to make the world a good place. Everybody would agree with that. Today, people think the world's a mistake. That's why people get depressed, right? So same too with people's challenges in life. There's no mistakes. Hashem gave you this challenge of being born in the red hour. It's because Hashem wants you to channel it for good. So that's the point that it says in the Gemara. We should maybe read it inside because this is a Talmud class. We have to read from the Talmud. So it says, if someone is born in the red hour, he should be a shoichet. Let's say this. He says, "Itabacha imahila." Tabacha imahila. It says, if. What did he say? Football. Exactly. Football is not productive. I don't know. Is it? Listen, it gives you a lot of power to influence. You see with the kneel and with the kneeling. I mean, obviously, it's better than being a robber. That's the other option over here. There's iganova. You have an option. You can either be a thief or you can be a sheikhet. I would rather be a sheikhet. Or it says you could be a doctor that takes out blood from a person dealing with blood. Because it's funny, some people, if they see blood, they'll faint. I know a friend of mine even heard the story, someone talking about bleeding, and he fainted. So you see this extreme. Some people, they see blood, their eyes, it's like they're addicted. You think they have a sickness, right? But for them, it's their passageway to connect to Hashem. Okay, so now let's move to the side of the opposite side of the things. That is telling you you're born in this hour, go for it. Now it's not you don't need to flip it over, you don't need to change yourself. This is a present for Hashem, go for it. There's a story with the Tzemach Tzedek, third Rebbe of Chabad. Someone came and complained to him, I don't like learning. So the Rebbe said, I'm so jealous of you. I love learning. I wish I could fight myself. So you have always the two opposites. You have people which don't have it, have to get it. So of course, like Rabbi Akiva, if they get it, they go for it. So you have an honor for Rabbi Akiva, you fought for it. On the other hand, someone that's born into it, in a way they have a step ahead. There's a long explanation of Chassidus of the way why each one is better. Someone that works hard is better than someone that has it naturally. Someone has it naturally, in a way, it's better because it's more him. He doesn't need to work for it. It's more integrated. It's not like so. It's not someone that works for something. It's a bit fake. It's not as look at somebody that was born religious, right? So it's something that's more natural. But on the other hand, someone that became religious, it's more fire. So each one has a plus and a minus, right? Hashem needs all of us to bring Mashiach. So now let's talk about it. It says, we learned in the Gemara, it says someone that's born on Thursday will be a man of kindness. What does it mean, kindness? So it says, you're Wednesday. Well, we're going to talk about Thursday. I was born on Thursday. My wife was born on Thursday. My baby was born on Thursday. So what's Thursday about? So it says someone that was born on Thursday will be a person of kindness. Why? It says because on that day was born fish and birds. That's why it says fish and birds. It says fish and birds. And very interestingly, it says in the Gemara, in the times of Talmud, when did they have make chasams? In these days, there's only limited halls. So any day you can squeeze yourself into a hall, you get it. But in those days, they weren't work. They didn't need to waste all their money when they got married. So they didn't need to have a hall. They have it in their house or whatever, right? Outside. So it says on Wednesday they got married in times of Talmud. Why? Because they want the relations to happen on Wednesday night, which is Thursday. And that is a sign of what? Kindness, which means also, kindness is also another word for prosperity, to multiply in a very extreme measure. Now it's interesting because the sixth day was the day Hashem gave the blessing to Adam and Eve to multiply. But it says exactly. But on the other hand, we don't. It says in the Talmud, when do we want the relations? On Thursday, because more than human, is fish. I mean, there's no debate that there's tons of fish in the ocean. There's nothing like it, right? And you have these swarms and swarms of fish that you wouldn't be able to fit on land, all these creatures. But what's the concept? So the Rebbe says, there's a story. Rabbi Akiva, I said this story a few weeks ago. Rabbi Akiva was teaching Torah in the time of the Romans. And his friend told him, why are you teaching Torah? They're going to kill you. So he said the story with the fish. The fox is standing on the lake, and he sees the fish flying around. He's like, why are you running? Take a chill. They told the fox, they're going to catch us. If you don't keep on moving, the fisherman's going to catch us. So the fox is like, I'll save you from the fisherman. Come to me. Come on land. So the fish looked at the fox, like, if we're going to die in the place of our life, of course we're going to die on land. What's the meaning? What did Rabbi Akiva want to say with the example of fish? The difference of fish and animals, fish and their life, their source, is one thing. If you go to mikvah, you can't have you can't have any clothes on you, you can't have anything, even color on you. Women, before they go to mikvah, they have to clean for an hour. So what happens if you go to mikvah and there's fish? You go to an ocean and there's fish on your foot, or fish, not a problem. Fish in the water is one thing. So in other words, what? A lobster, right? Or even the sting fish. That's fine. Right. So what's the point? What's my point over here? My point over here is that the Rebbe asks a question. It says in the Talmud, what makes the Jewish nation different than all the nations? We are naturally shy. We don't have this weird chutzpah. How do you say chutzpah in English? Yeah, that non-Jews might have. A Jewish person is always, has at least potential to be embarrassed, to realize that he's doing something wrong. He'll do it wrong, but he'll be embarrassed about it. He says, Gemilas Chasadim. Jewish people are naturally kind. Right? Baishanim, Rahmanim, they're mercy, and Gem Chasadim, they're kind. So what's the specialty of being born on Thursday? Every day, every Jew has kindness. So what's Thursday? So Thursday is a special kindness that people don't have naturally. You have to get it. And if you're born on Thursday, you have a head start. Everyone can get it. But if you're born on Thursday, you're more naturally in tune to this. And that's the point I was saying about the fish. The point is that there's two types of kindness. There's a kindness that you have a lot of money and you don't even feel. Imagine Bill Gates gives me $1. $1 million. He wouldn't even know. Right? What happens if someone that is very poor gives someone $1? He feels every dollar. I mean, some people even feel that even though they're very rich, they feel every time they're giving away their life. But the point is, there's two types of kindness. One is that you're just a nice person, you just give. Then there's a type of kindness that you don't matter over here. Right now, it's the poor person needs. Sometimes these people get in trouble because they give all their money. But even in a level-headed way, there's two ways of kindness. One way of kindness is that I'm such a nice guy, I feel bad for you. One is that it's not about me anymore, it's you. So it says the Jewish natural kindness that every Jew is born with is they're nice people. If they see someone that can use their help, they'll help them. But not in the sense that they don't matter. The concept of kindness of Thursday is different because the kindness, which is like I was saying about the fish, it just multiplies. Kindness which has no boundary is the kindness which is the kindness of Hashem. Hashem doesn't have boundaries, right? We're the ones with boundaries. Hashem doesn't have boundaries, right? So the kindness of Thursday is that we Jews have to have the kindness of Hashem. When we're kind, you can't have boundaries to our kindness. You can't have boundaries like this is how much I can give you. It's right now, it has to be in your head, what does this person need? Now, of course, if you have a wife and kids, you have responsibility for them. They come first, right? Not someone on the street, right? If let's say, God forbid, there's a dangerous guy, you would love to invite him in your house, but he could hurt your kids. It happens, unfortunately. People invite beggars to their house and they hurt their kids, right? So you have to be careful. It's not because you don't like, it's not because he's smelly or because you don't like him. It's because you care for your family and your family is first. That's what it says in the Torah, right? But it's not because you don't like him or because you think you're right. No, it's because Hashem told you your wife and kids are first. So the point is that your kindness to a person shouldn't be out of your nature. I feel bad for you. The way that people they go, the beggars come to you in the street and they're telling you a whole story of a sad story. They try to make you feel bad and give. I'm like, just tell them what you need, right? I'm saying what I'm trying to say is that the real kindness doesn't mean, I feel bad and I want to make myself feel better. I'm going to give you some money, or because I have so much money I can give you. When someone is in need, All that should be in your head is what he needs, not how I feel. And that's the point of Thursday. Thursday is the concept that your kindness is unlimited. It's not limited to how much you have, how you're feeling, what he needs. It's not even how you feel, if you feel bad or don't feel bad. Sometimes people come to you. It happened to me yesterday. Someone came to me. Yeah, he wanted help. He deserved all of his problems. I mean, he did it to himself. So on one hand, you're thinking, this guy doesn't deserve. You ask any Republican conservative, they'll tell you, any poor person, it's their fault, right? Maybe they're right. Maybe it is their fault. But you shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be like, whose fault is it? It's what he needs right now. So of course, if giving him money is going to go to gambling, it's not the way to help, right? But the point is how your mindset. So here we have two aspects of the day you're born and two opposites. If you're born on Maidan, if you're born on Mars, the Mars time. So what are you meant to do? Take your negative trait of bloodiness, which everybody will agree blood is liking blood is a bit negative, but using it for the positive. It says, for example, being a policeman, but a soldier is a bloody thing, but you're saving lives. Nothing's more great than being an Israeli soldier, saving Jewish lives. Right? Like I spoke last class, the Rebbe said you should call the Israeli soldiers that were hurt in battle Mitsuyanim, which means how do you say Mitsuyan in English? Mitsuyan means it's like wow, like you have a golden medal, like you're amazing. Why? Because what's more amazing than saving a Jewish nation and giving up a part of your body for that? Nobody argues, right? Mitsuyan, exactly, Mitsuyan, right? But now, 1 second, think about it. People literally like killing. I don't want to say this, but liberals will tell you, right? Soldiers, they're bad people. Why? Because they like killing. But that's the whole greatness of the soldier. He took this negative trait and he used it for saving people. So he took literally, I grew up with people that they literally watched war movies all day and they loved watching death, right? And all they wanted to be is a soldier when they grow up. But better being a soldier than being a gangster, right? Better being dying for your country than dying for yourself, right? Now, on the other hand, you have the other aspect, born on Thursday. Someone's born on Thursday. By the way, it gets very complicated. I only give you the outside picture because it's connected the day you're born and the hour you're born. So it flips in very different ways. But in the general, Thursday is a time of kindness. So we're not telling you, no. You don't need to change. You be yourself. Go for it. You have a trait of kindness. You have sort of a head start over everyone else. So every single part of us has to be used for Hashem. If it's a talent, if it's a natural instinct that we have, every single part of us has to be used for Hashem. We have to just think, how are we going to use it for Hashem? If we have a negative trait, like laziness, for example. Laziness can be very good. I just saw it today in show. Someone comes to someone that's not lazy and tries to tell them, yap and yap. Someone that's busy, I don't have time for you. Someone that's lazy, I'll listen to you. I'm not all the time there. Some people, on the other hand, when you need to get something done, need the opposite trait. So that's the point. Every single trait we have can be used for Hashem. The question is how. Some of them we have to flip over. Some of them we have to not flip over, but use it exactly the way it is, because we have a head start in connecting to Hashem. Have a great day. See you next time.